Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Ada Ugo. On this channel, I talk about skincare, I rant about my looks. Also, expect to see some lifestyle vlogs. So, in this particular video, I want to talk about my locks, or rather, I want to rant about my locks. I'm 9 months locked, and this has been the longest 9 months of my life, guys. The longest 9 months. So I just want to address one or two things about locks, like one or two things I've come to observe or I've come to understand through this 9 month journey. I want to shed some light too on some things that people don't tend to understand about locks, and people wanting their locks to lock faster, maybe in 2 months or 3 months. I just want to address one or two things, but then I want to this picture here. If you compare this picture here to what my locks looks like, you will agree with me that lots of transformations have happened to my locks, from being so scanty to being this full. Seriously, guys, my locks have gotten fuller. Like, I can see how full my locks are, even though, yes, I don't have any length yet. There's no changes when it comes to length. But when it comes to being full and matured, seriously, a lot has happened. It's very full. And the truth is that I've not done anything so special to make my locks this full and thick. Nothing. The only thing I've done, or whatever, or the only thing I keep doing is wash my locks every 2 weeks, oil my scalp, then separate each day that I wash my locks. That is about the only thing I've done, and you can see how my locks have become so thick. This is to tell you that you don't really have to do anything to your locks to make them thick. You don't really have to manipulate them. All you have to do is just let those locks be. Like, you don't really even have to do anything to make your locks lock faster. One thing about our hair is that once you've decided, oh, I don't want to comb my hair anymore, your locks will start locking from that moment you said you're no longer combing your hair. It might take time, but they are locking. Your hair is locking. You know, I don't want you guys to buy into the notion or keep believing people when people tell you you're going to use this to make your locks lock faster. You see, one thing about locks is that I've come to appreciate the fact that it's just natural for it to just lock. Like, it's something that happens on its own naturally. You don't have to stress it. Like, I'm a living example of this. Like, from this video now, you will see through the 9 months, I've grown some new growth at the back of my head, as you can see, and by themselves, without me twisting them or doing anything to them, they are forming some baby locks at the back. And it's not just these baby locks at the back, even at the center, or rather in the middle of my scalp, I have lots of the new growths that are beginning to form some baby locks. Okay, so you just have to leave your hair or your locks alone. Once you're no longer combing your hair, your locks will lock. So throughout this journey, I've not for one day, not even for once, retwisted my locks. Not for once. The only thing I do is just to separate them. Okay, no retwist whatsoever. I don't have any intention to retwist whatsoever. I just want to free form. Yes, I know I started with twisting. Some people can argue that you're not free forming because you started with twisting. Actually, I do not care in anyway. What I know is that I'm free forming because I am not twisting them. One thing I've come to understand is that no matter how much you want your locks to look like somebody else's locks, The fact is that your locks will end up looking like what it wants to look like. You can't just manipulate this thing. Seriously, you cannot just manipulate this thing. I remember when I just first started these locks, when I was 3 months in, I felt that maybe I'm not doing the right thing. Why? Because I've watched so many videos of some people that at the second month or at the end of the first month, their hair or their locks were already budding up. But mine was there was no trace of budding in my locks at all. There was no trace. So I felt that I'm just doing the wrong thing or something, or maybe this thing is not for me because nothing at all was showing that I actually locked my hair. It was just looking like twisted hair. And when I watch these videos, I feel that maybe I'm not doing the right thing, blah blah blah. Locks are not for me, or maybe I've gotten it all wrong. But I decided to just keep it and keep going to see how it's going to end up. The thing is that even some people have watched some videos that at the second month, these people's hair are already beginning to look like locks. Meanwhile, at the fifth month, my locks were still looking like they are twisted hair. They're not looking like locks at all. My locks only started looking like locks at the seventh month, and it didn't start building up until, let's say, the sixth month. You see why you should not try to compare your locks to somebody else's locks. Like, no matter how much you admire people's locks, like I have so many people I admire their locks, and I watch so many lock videos. But at the end of the day, I think we should just let our locks do what it wants to do for itself. Your hair is unique. Believe me, I've observed my locks so much that I've found out that there's no one lock on this my scalp that looks the same. None looks the same. No two looks the same. They're just so unique on their own. So unique. Seriously, guys, locks have a mind of their own. They're rebel. There's nothing you can actually do. There's nothing you can actually do to get them to lock faster. These things, one thing about locks that I love so much, that it's just natural. It does its own thing. You can't manipulate your way through it. No matter how much you want to use crochet to make it lock, it's only the tip, as in the root of your scalp or the root of your head, that will get locked. It's not going to unravel. But the whole body of the locks, they are not fully locked. This thing takes a while. Seriously, I've come to understand it does take a while. I've had lots of new growths that are really forming locks on their own. Like, I can't just explain how beautiful one's hair can transform like this. So what I'm trying to say at the end of all this rant is that you should just let your locks be. Just let, no matter whose lock you admire, trust me, just watch locks video for the fun of watching them, or to pick or learn one or two things, but not wanting your locks to look exactly or lock exactly the same way that person's locks are locking. That is one of the mistakes I feel I made initially, trying to compare my locks with someone's own lock, because that girl's locks started locking like more like at the third month it was already locking up. So guys, I don't know. I just, as usual, I love to rant about locks. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and like this video. I'm going to see you guys next time. Bye.